And welcome to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion, former wrestling announcer too. This is Fourth and Pain, and oh my God, Adam Carriker, do we have a whole heap to talk about? You want to talk about a convincing victory? You want to talk about the Washington Redskins? Let's talk about the annihilation that was a 31-6 victory over the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday at FedEx Field. Snaps a 3-game losing streak, hands Philadelphia their 6th straight loss. This could be the death knell for Andy Reid, but more importantly, locally here in D.C., Redskins playoff hopes firmly alive, now in 3rd place in the NFC East. Dallas Cowboys almost lost, and so all of this speculation, all of this mystery, this mystique that surrounded the bye week and that New York Giants loss, now it's coming to fruition. Game 1 down. All eyes now on Dallas for Thanksgiving.
Game 1 of 7. During the bye week, I was talking about don't throw in the towel. It's not over. Don't get too excited at this point. The Redskins look good. That's the team I expect to see most of the time because I work with these guys. I see these guys. I know what they're capable of doing. And I'm very glad. And they looked really good. Don't go bonkers just yet. Let's get a few more wins under our belt. Let's get the other teams to get a few more losses, and you never know what can happen.
Well, I'll tell you this. You say not to go bonkers just yet, but this is something that the fans have not seen in a very long time. And so at least for the next 24 to 36 hours, I would encourage them to really enjoy this, relish this victory, because this was the most thorough and complete victory that I can remember in the Mike Shanahan era against a division opponent, no less.
Well, absolutely. Enjoy it, relish it. I'm just saying it's funny to me because every week it's like the ultimate high, the ultimate low based on whether the team wins or loses. And I suppose that's part of being a fan. That's the way I was growing up, watching my favorite teams. I'm just saying I'm looking at it from a player's point of view. You don't ever want to get too low, no matter how bad it looks, no matter what they're saying. You don't ever want to get too high, no matter how great it looks and if they're saying nice things about you. You got to take everything with a grain of salt. This truly is a marathon. You just keep plowing away. Enjoy the next 2 to 3 days and get ready for Dallas.
All right. Well, you taper that enthusiasm. I'm just going to try to feed the fan frenzy. Because, just watching Mike Shanahan's press conferences this past Sunday, compared to what they faced the week earlier or 2 weeks ago against the Carolina Panthers, this was a completely different man. This was a man that entered that press room and started cracking jokes. Completely different. This was a lot of fun for me to go out there and cover. And, for me, man, like I always gripe and groan about having to make that trek all the way out to FedEx Field and around 70-some-odd thousand people, that traffic. I gripe and groan
about hearing it.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this was fun for me on Sunday to actually cover.
It was fun for me to watch at home. Every time I turned around, they were getting a stop. They were causing a fumble. There was an interception. There was a touchdown. I don't mean to be, the downer or anything. I'm just saying, even keel. It's a long season. Let's just keep plugging away. Enjoy the win. And Thursday is going to come quickly, and I'm very excited. It's literally the Cowboys and Indians on Thanksgiving.
Game 1 of 7, and the Dallas Cowboys a little bit less than thrilling victory today or Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. Just eke past them in overtime, almost give it away. This does not look like the dominant Dallas Cowboys.
I think we have a great chance. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves with the Redskins preview, but I think they have a great chance. I mean, honestly, with Dallas, you never know what team's going to show up. When I'm playing, I'm like, I don't know who's going to show up. There's this team that looks like a Super Bowl team. There's a team that doesn't. And so come Thursday, I wouldn't even worry about Dallas, to be honest with you, because it's about which Redskins team shows up, because that's all that matters.
Wow. But, okay, well, let's put the brakes there on Thursday. Let's go back, talk about well, I know I did, but let's talk about yesterday's win against the Philadelphia Eagles and the highlights that were. Obviously, Robert Griffin III puts together one of his more complete performances of the year. Only has 1 incompletion, throws 4 touchdowns, bombs at that. I mean, he hits a wide-open Aldrick Robinson. He hits Darrell Young for a short little 6-yarder to open the game. Santana Moss on a bomb. And who got the other one? Refresh my memory. Who we got?
Aldrick Robinson,
Logan
Santana
Paulson.
Moss,
Logan Paulson fighting hard to get into the end zone. Spreading the ball around. No real dominant receiver, but everybody brought their A game. And There wasn't the problem with the drops as the Washington Redskins receivers had shown a propensity to have in the weeks leading up to the bye. They come out after the bye, and it looks like they had stick-em on their gloves. Not that they did, but they caught the ball, and that's a huge, huge difference.
Absolutely. They look great. I mean, they caught everything. I don't remember one drop. I think there was only one incompletion the whole day, which is, kind of like crazy, kind of like video game type numbers, if you will.
Absolutely.
He had 200 yards passing, 84 yards rushing. So he's kind of doing everything, doing it all as he always does. I'm trying to remember, have we given him the belt this year?
We have not. He is the elusive one.
Do you have a personal vendetta against him for some reason?
I happen to like the man very much.
You do? Well, then why haven't we given it to him? I lobby for him every week. I blame this on you.
You're right. It's completely my fault.
I'm just kidding. We have a great debate every week, but I think this week we decided to give it to the young man.
Yeah, well, let's let the cat out of the bag. Finally,
the cat is out of that bag.
We are going to give it to Robert Griffin III.
He has earned it,
and boy, did he! I can't think of a better game to give him the belt. And boy, this is huge for Robert Griffin III. It's huge for the Washington Redskins. Selfishly, this is huge for us. I can't think of a better week to give him the belt because it's National Attention Week. All eyes on this classic rivalry, Redskins, Cowboys, Thanksgiving Day, and now you've got this unseen rookie, this guy that comes out of Baylor University, not out of nowhere, but he's really kind of revolutionizing the quarterback position again in the NFL and making the option a viable option in the pro game. And so I'm very excited about what's going to happen.
I'm elated as well. I mean, 4 touchdowns, that's a career high. Only had 1 incomplete pass on the whole day. I mean, he more than earned this. So congrats, my man.
4 touchdown passes. We're going to be speaking to him Tuesday on 4th and Pain and also giving him the coveted 4th and Pain title belt. This is very exciting.
Spin that bad boy.
He seems like the kind of guy that is really going to relish this. Obviously, Lorenzo Alexander, he took it home. He took the picture out in front of his truck. He's looking all big and tough. Ryan Kerrigan jokes about wearing the belt going down the grocery aisles. Alfred Morris, for God's sakes, he wants to sleep with the belt underneath of his pillow. Santana Moss had some fun with it, but I really think Robert Griffin III and his kind of quirky, fun personality, he's a guy that's really going to embrace and embody this belt.
I'm very excited to see what he does with it. I'm wondering, can we have a guy hold on to it 2 weeks in a row? Have we had a guy hold on to it 2 weeks in a row?
We have not had back-to-back champions.
We've had repeat champions. I'm curious to see if he can hold on to it, especially where this is a short week. This could be like a big show type title right now. I don't want to call him out. I'm just saying,
fitting.
Can he hold on to it? Can he hold on to it?
Big show type title reign. That's classic, man.
Glad you liked it. Thank you.
I did. And I'll tell you, speaking of former 4th and Pain champions, it was good to see Pierre Garçon back out on the field today.
Absolutely. I think he's going to be a little bit rusty, but I think as he keeps playing, he'll knock that rust off, and you're going to see what you saw that first game with the Saints with that 84, 85-yard touchdown run where he just outran everybody.
Right, and Coach Shanahan said after the game, it's impossible to expect a guy to come out after being out that amount of time. Expect him to be in football shape. You can practice all you want. You can run all the wind sprints you want, but until you strap on those pads and you have a live game situation, my friend, you are not in football shape. So both he and Brandon Merriweather, who also looked very good Sunday against the Eagles, they have a little bit more work to do, but they're getting there. It was just really good to see them back on the field.
Now, do we have any news on the Merriweather injury?
Yeah.
I saw him come out. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, here's Merriweather after the game said that he was fine. He stayed out of the game. It was a right knee sprain. He could have come back into the game perhaps if it were a little bit closer, but there was no need to put him back into that game and risk further injury at that point. He says he's fine. He should be okay for Thursday. And talking to him after the game, nothing too concerning. And, just really important to point out, it was his left knee that was hurting him leading up to this week, and this is his right knee that he had a mild sprain in this week. So completely different injuries. He should be good to go moving forward.
That's good to hear because he played well, laid a couple of big hits, had that pick. You get him and Garçon back and rolling, we'll be doing pretty good. Completely different Washington Redskins secondary Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles than we've seen all season long. The addition of Brandon Merriweather, it proves now why the Redskins coaching staff went out and acquired him during the offseason. Even though it's late in the year that he comes in and he makes his regular season debut, his impact was felt, and you can't have a better time to have this guy join your lineup late in the season when you're fighting for your playoff
playoff lives, this is very important moving forward.
Absolutely. This is perfect. I mean, he came out the gate, played well. He's just going to get better and better, especially the more used to it he gets. And normally the biggest jump you have is from that first game to the second game because you're kind of knocking that rust off. Like when I played against the Saints and went to play against the Rams, you just feel that much more comfortable. You get into the flow of everything. So, hey, expectations being a little bit higher for that Cowboys game. And, I mean, he's a two-time Pro Bowler, so he's a really good player.
I mean, he gets that interception. D'Angelo Hall has an interception in the game. A couple of guys get their hands on the ball. Ryan Kerrigan had himself a heck of a game. Did you know, Adam, that the last time the Redskins won a game and didn't allow a touchdown, Week 16, 2008, against who? The Philadelphia Eagles.
I did not know that.
True.
That's an interesting fact.
True. Ironic. We looked that up in the press box.
That's very cool.
Me and Big Sexy. It was fun.
The defense looked good today, getting pressure on the quarter. Kerrigan, I had a sack, had a couple of forced fumbles as well.
I mean, seriously, what was it like for you to be sitting at home watching this game? I would think that you would have thoroughly enjoyed even having just been on those sidelines. Obviously, you can't be there. You're still in the cast. But I think that you would have thoroughly enjoyed yourself being down there with the teammates for this one.
You've never actually asked me that question, and I've never actually brought it up. It sucks for me. It sucks to watch. Can I say that on the radio? I just said it on the radio. But it just sucks because if they're losing, it's frustration beyond what I can even explain. If they're winning, it's like, God, I want to be there. I want to be a part of that. I want to be making plays. I want to be celebrating. I'd much rather watch a win. But either way, it's just tough for me.
Fair to say this is their most complete victory of the year?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's pretty easy to say.
All right, well, mark your calendars. Tuesday, 4th, and Payne, have lunch with us before you get ready with your Thanksgiving Day preparations and play hooky from work on Wednesday. We want for you to join us Tuesday, feast with us and Robert Griffin III here on 4th and Payne. Now, Adam, let's talk about some other games around the league. Your opponents Thursday, the Dallas Cowboys, eke out a narrow victory over the Cleveland Browns in overtime, 23-20, the final there. Houston Texans escape a win. They escape with a victory over the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars, 43-37. I don't know where Jacksonville's offense has been, but they certainly put up a fair number of points. New York Jets, both you and I called this upset, go into St. Louis, win 27-13. Tampa Bay narrowly escapes Carolina with the win, 27-21. Your final there. The Atlanta Falcons almost lose their second straight, but come away with the 23-19 victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers get it done in Detroit, 24-20. Your final there. Cincinnati Bengals all over the Kansas City Chiefs, 28-6 there. Everybody expects that. Kansas City not quite the same showing that they had a week earlier. And the New Orleans Saints, 38, Oakland Raiders 17, out in the black hole. And then this one started kind of close, and then the New England Patriots pulled away for a big 59-24 victory over Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Peyton Manning, the Denver Broncos, also victorious, 30-23 over Norv Turner and the San Diego Chargers. Now, Adam, of those games, what do you take away from Week 11 in the NFL?
Well, with our picks being what they are, I was very intrigued by Jacksonville-Houston because that was my stone-cold lock pick of the week, if you will. And they were getting their butts whooped. They were down by 2 touchdowns, and I'm like, what is going on? 9-1's going to lose to a 1-9 team? But they came back, and I can breathe easier. Got the New York Jets right. Got a little divine intervention. I think Tebow just prayed on the sideline. He did some Tebowing of his own. Goldberg made me pick that Tampa-Carolina game, and I actually thought that would be a really easy game to pick. And then Carolina was up by 11. Luckily, Tampa came back to win. I think I'm actually undefeated on the week. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see.
Well, let's double-check here.
I think I am undefeated. You can double-check, but
okay.
I'm right.
Let's see. You had the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers won. You had the Jets over the Rams, absolutely, and the Texans over the Jaguars. Yeah, man, you're in good shape here, dude.
I just need the Ravens and the
49ers later on
to
tonight,
win.
yeah.
And I will be 5-0 for the first time in history, and I will take over that number 1 slot, and I will dominate the universe.
Hey, buddy,
and all mankind.
I'd like to point out that I'm not doing too bad either. I had let's see, the Buccaneers. I had the Jets as well.
Boo.
And my lock of the week, Redskins over the Eagles. So I too, I need the Ravens and the 49ers to win. And then
Nobody
I'm right
likes
there.
that.
Hey, buddy.
Don't brag.
You know what that would be?
Try to be humble.
4 out of the last 5 weeks, I would have gone 5 for 5
Just
then.
more humility.
Come on, man. I don't often get wins in life. I was dealt the short stick. Thank you. Intentional pun. And so for me to be able to walk away with these little victories in life, let me celebrate.
You got the short end of the stick. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. But I'm on a roll, baby. I am definitely on a roll.
That would be what, 20 straight correct picks?
Well, 24 out of my last 25.
Oh, okay. You missed one.
I did.
Okay.
I missed one a couple of weeks ago.
I thought you were undefeated. Okay. All right.
Well,
That's not terrible. Good job.
Not terrible, dude. That's going to put me ahead of Goldberg. So he's
having a rough week, I think, too, by the way, except I gave him what turned out to be a ridiculously easy game. I thought I'd trick him, but he took the Broncos, and they beat
Broncos won.
The Chargers, I know.
He had the Chiefs over the Bengals, not even
that didn't
close
turn out
there,
so
poor
well.
guy. Texans over the Jaguars, and then he's going with the Steelers. I just don't see that happening. And then the San Francisco 49ers, obviously.
All right.
So
we could pick up some ground here.
Big time.
He's been leading the whole time. You know how annoying that is?
Oh, he won't be leading after this week.
Very frustrating.
All over. Here's what I take away. Here's where I'd be a little bit nervous if I'm Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons, just going back to this game really quickly. Exactly. And the last 2 weeks, this was a team that had been playing really dominant football, and suddenly they're looking mediocre the last couple of weeks. They've fallen back to the rest of the NFL. They are no longer an elite team, maybe the best in their division, but
They're
telling
still
you.
8-1. They're still 8-1.
8-1's pretty good, but they're not the same 6-0 team
Well,
that
plus-
was, or the 7-0 team rather.
They played a couple of tight games. I mean, the Saints are on a 5-game winning streak. They just bludgeoned the Oakland Raiders, as I see there, and I believe they're 0-5 now. They're 5-5. So it's not like they're not facing hot teams and playing hot teams. Not that the Cardinals were on fire, but the Saints were. Is my point.
Well, you guys faced the Saints at the opportune time. Week 1,
we did.
They're chock full of turmoil, and you guys went down to the Big Easy and handled big business in a big way.
It turned out very well that day. Not gonna lie, had a lot of fun.
That was a good day. Okay, well, I mean, I don't really know where else to go as far as the football segment here, so let's put the kibosh on this. Come back, talk a little bit of college football, because this is very interesting. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about in college football. Obviously, we're going to talk about Notre Dame. Why? Because, well, they're number one. But I also want to pick your opinion. More importantly, outside of the rankings, outside of the standings, I want to talk about the University of Maryland potentially going to the Big Ten, joining your conference, and that's going to make Nebraska travel all the way east to play some football games. I just don't see it. I don't see it, but we're going to come back. We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that in the bull crap system.
And the bull crap system. Be sure to follow us on Fourth and Pain on Twitter at Fourth and Pain, fourthandpain.com. Like us on Facebook. And for all intents and purposes, no matter what else you do, have lunch with us every single weekday.
Every day. We're fun. We're entertaining.
We are fun. Look at these faces.
And we're not going to make you fat either.
Look at these faces. Low calorie, high energy.
Exactly.
That's what we are.
Exactly.
Fitness gurus, entertainment experts. This is Fourth and Pain. He's Adam Carriker.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Chuck Carroll. Oddest sign-off ever, but it's been a good day.
You went out of order, man. You messed me all up.
I did. Well, you flexed the muscles. I'm just like, I'm going to take it home. Look at that. Look at that. Good to go. Fourth and Pain. We'll be right back.
Fart.
Talk some college football.